Welcome to the WLAQ Community Spotlight, where we highlight the wonderful organizations and people that make the Rome community a great place to call home. Here's today's host.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Elizabeth Davis. Glad to be with you again for another edition of WLAQ Community Spotlight. And today I've got a couple of guests in the studio. Julie Smith is here. She is the Executive Director of Trot of Rome and Floyd County. And we've got Johnny Clavijo, who is Marketing Manager for AdventHealth Redmond. The primary reason we have them here today is to talk about the Rome Turkey Trot that's coming up on Thanksgiving Day. But you guys have got a lot of other activities between now and then, so why don't we come to the Turkey Trot towards the conclusion of the interview, and we'll talk about all the other activities till then.
Yeah, that sounds great, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. Yes, Trot has a lot of things going on, as we normally do throughout the year. We have a walk and talk coming up this Saturday that will actually feature Denise Rustad from AdventHealth Redmond. She will be talking about the creation life principle that AdventHealth follows. So that will be at the Mount Berry Trailhead at 9 o'clock in the morning this Saturday. And then also November the 9th, we have our third annual fundraiser, which is Twilight on the Trails. And we will be at the Historic Waterworks of Jackson Hill. It's our fundraiser. A great band, Carl and the Floorwalkers, a cover band from Cartersville. The Varsity Food Truck will be there. Fried pies from Stanley's Fried Pies, or Stanley's Meat and Three. Beverages. So it's just a really great evening up on top of the Historic Waterworks.
Yeah, what a cool, you'll get a great vantage point of that flag up there on Jackson.
Yes.
That's Jackson Hill.
Yes,
Norton.
it is Jackson Hill, and
Okay.
I'm glad you said that because it always falls on the Veterans Day weekend, and so a lot of times Public Works will put up the big flag, which is just really nice. So it depends on the weather.
Yeah.
And so I'd be remiss if I didn't thank our sponsors. The presenting sponsor is AdventHealth Redmond, so we are very appreciative of that. Then we also have Newbie Stahl Wealth Management, Simpson Machinery, Hardy Realty, always great partners with Trot from day one. Nova River District, the West 3rd redevelopment that we all know about. First National Community Bank, Jowers Sklar Insurance, Justin Owens CPA, Logical Systems, Jimmy and Holly Smith, Rome Orthopedic Center, and then Shift Physical Therapy. So we're so grateful to all of our sponsors for Twilight on the Trails.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got to ask both of you, what are you most looking forward to about that event?
Well, it's a great event for Trot, of course. It's our number one fundraising component to be able to help us plan out what we're going to be doing in the upcoming year and years. So right now we're getting ready to talk about our planning for the next 5 years as to how we want the trail system to really grow, take advantage of the rails to trails conversion. And we're talking about it going down south towards Lindale, but then also going north, which is what we're calling our Redmond Connector, that kind of will go either through the AdventHealth Redmond campus or around it, all the way up to the spires.
Cool.
So there's definitely more to come. It's a lot of fun to kind of plan that out and to be able to create something that is a real attraction for people coming to Rome, ideally to come and call Rome home. For sure. And I know it was for us. It was a big attractor for us when we moved 3 years ago. And we live in the historic district, but we're just 2 blocks from the trail system. And we're on it literally every day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is great. And, you'll hear the AdventHealth Redmond theme throughout this segment because 2 years ago, AdventHealth Redmond became the title sponsor. So now it's officially the AdventHealth Redmond Eco Greenway. And Eco stands for Etowah Coosa Oostanala.
Yeah.
So it's just a natural fit. And then, of course, the number one or the main trailhead is the Eco Center. So it just all blends. The rivers used to be the first trails. Now we've got the paved trails. So it all is just a natural tie-in with the benefits of trails and also what AdventHealth Redmond stands for, their brand promise.
And you talk a lot about feel whole. That's like your big catch saying, as it were. So, and let's talk about what part physical fitness plays, what component that is in the whole concept of feeling whole.
So yeah, there's basically 3 components to the whole self, and so that's through mind, body, and spirit. And when the opportunity came up for AdventHealth Redmond to have the naming rights for the trail system, they definitely jumped on it, and it was right in their wheelhouse to where we wanted to be able to make it something that people would be able to use and take care of their body component.
Right.
But there's also, there's parts of the Martha Berry Trail that is, some people call it a spiritual component because it's just so peaceful. And when you take care of your body, and not just your physical body, but your mental and your spiritual part, it leads to a healthy body. And really, that's what we're all about, is trying to get people to take care of themselves so that they don't. I mean, we of course want to take care of them when they're in need and come to the hospital for whatever issue they may have. But that preventative care is the most important, and something simple that everybody can do on their own.
Yeah, staying active. And of course, that's always been something that you guys have championed with Tread, is staying active.
Right, exactly. And also, staying active, and also the transportation component of it too, right? Because not everybody has access to a vehicle. And so there are some trails, that promote recreation. Mount Berry, Ridge Ferry, the trail segments. I see Matt running a lot, on Tuesday nights at Mount Berry. But then there are also the trails that we have here, like Kingfisher Trail in South Rome, that connects downtown to South Rome, or the Dollar General at Central Plaza to South Rome. And so people need those
really
trails.
Important.
It is important. And I think it wasn't until Trey and I had the bike shop that, people kind of, between the margins came in and depended on their bike for transportation. Right. And that was kind of a light bulb moment for a lot of us. And then also when Tread formed in 2012, the city's always paved trails. Back in the 80s, Ridge Ferry was the first trail, and they would just take the riparian areas by the river and make trails. But it wasn't until 2012 when we formed that there was a Georgia Department of Transportation grant that would connect what we now know as connecting Avenue A Trail and the Mount Berry Trail, a quarter-mile trail section that needed to happen. And so that's kind of how Tread started, obviously, from a connectivity standpoint, and that's kind of our mission from, all day, to now, is just connecting the community.
Awesome. So Twilight coming up on November 9th. I know a lot of folks would love to be in attendance at that event.
Yes.
So how can they get tickets?
They can go to the website, treadromefloyd.com. And then tickets are $75. And again, as Johnny alluded to, it's our number one fundraiser. That's what pays for us to do what we do. Coming up, we also maintain 3 different off-road trails. So separate from the AdventHealth Redmond Eco Greenway, Tread volunteers have built Blossom Hill, Jackson Hill trails, and GE trails in West Rome. So a lot of maintenance goes into that. So also the funding from Twilight helps with that too.
Yeah, awesome. Now, if people can't make it to Twilight, but they appreciate what you're doing and want to support the cause, what's the best way for them to do that?
There's a donate button on the website, treadromefloyd.com, and we would very much appreciate that because we are a 501c3. All of our money, all of our funding comes from donors, and we're grateful.
Awesome. So now we talked about the walk and talk. We've talked about Twilight. Any other events that you want to discuss before we get to the turkey trot?
No, let's talk about the turkey trot.
Let's talk about the highlight of today's conversation. It is the Rome Turkey Trot 2024 5K run and 3K Feel Whole stroll. And I did not get tongue-tied on that. And
That's a lot. Yes.
It is a lot. And we wanted to be sure to, most 5K runs will have a walk of some kind, and sometimes a mile is probably not long enough, so we decided to make it a 3K, which is just under 2 miles. And Feel Whole is kind of our tagline with AdventHealth, to where we ended up calling it the Feel Whole Stroll. And strollers are welcome with the walking component as well as dogs. So
On
leashes,
please.
correct? Yes. And so we wanted to again open it up to the entire family, and it's a great opportunity on Thanksgiving Day, 9:00 in the morning, to be able to get your day off started right and make room for turkey.
Right.
Yeah.
Gobble and gobble.
Yeah.
There you
Right.
go.
And then you
That's
won't
right.
feel as bad later on
I know.
when you're laid out on the couch in that turkey coma.
And eating more pie.
Yeah. And you talk about community involvement. I'm just thinking you could, theoretically, you could do the Rome Turkey Trot in the morning, Then late morning, go help at the Thanksgiving Love Feast
Oh,
at the
that's
Civic
true,
Center.
at the Civic Center.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then go do your
You're
family
right.
thing, and then go take a nap because
Yeah.
you're going to need a nap after all that.
That is
That's
true.
right.
We'll need a nap too after we work it.
Yeah. So,
We will.
what's it going to look like on race day? Will you have all kinds of race associated festivities?
Well, actually, we're keeping it kind of low key for this inaugural event. We kind of feel bad trying to get our own staff and volunteers to come out on Thanksgiving
Right.
Day to work. And so we were a little apprehensive in trying to get sponsors and then having all kinds of tents and getting them to work. So we're just kind of starting off small right now to where it's just basically going to be AdventHealth and Tread folks that are going to be there. But we've also got other people from the community that are already stepping up and saying, hey, how can we help? How can we volunteer? And there's going to be more information in the next week or two on the website for volunteers. We haven't opened that up just yet because we're trying to figure out how many we have on staff that'll be available to help. But the one of the neat components about this 5K race is it is a Peachtree Road Race qualifier, and it's the first. I mean, it's really the only one on Thanksgiving Day in the surrounding area because there is one in Chattanooga, but then probably the
In
closest is
Marietta.
Marietta, and so for folks that don't want to travel that far. They've got Rome here, and we're really looking forward to this taking off. So far, the registration numbers look really good. We're very optimistic on having a good turnout and really making this kind of a component of Thanksgiving Day for Rome.
Awesome. Now, I know the early bird registration has already ended.
Correct.
So now the price has gone up, and then you'll also have a race day registration.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, we're expecting quite a number of folks as walk up on race day.
Depending on the weather.
True. Definitely keeping our fingers crossed on that. But it's one of those things where family comes in from out of town that they didn't either plan on it, but then having something to do as a family to be able to go and participate. So we're looking forward to having probably more walkers than we are runners. But since the connecting part of the top part of the Eco Greenway that has been connected the old Martha Berry to the what is that connector, the Braves behind the Braves Stadium.
Armorchi connector?
Yes. And that part just seemed to take so long. So many people were asking us, when's it going to be complete? Well, this is actually going to be the first event that's going to be taking place on there. So so we can have just minimal amount of police just because everything is going to be taking place on the Greenway.
That's awesome. So people certainly feel a lot safer.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And so with this being an event on a holiday, sometimes when it's a holiday, people like to dress in holiday-related attire. If somebody wants to come out there in a turkey costume, would you encourage that?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes, we were actually talking about as to whether or not we wanted to have someone on our team dress up in a turkey costume. That's still under discussion, but no, I think that would be fantastic if folks are able to kind of come out and really get into it like that.
Yeah. So what motivated you to want to do an event of this caliber on a holiday? Because a lot of people, they're like, that's my day off. It's one few days I have off. I want to not do anything. What motivated you to put this together?
I think you should.
Okay,
Sure.
so the real story is that last Christmas at Christmas Back Home performance at City Auditorium that my friend Scott Thompson does, Isaac Sindros, CEO of AdventHealth Redmond, said, Julie, what if we did a 5K run on Thanksgiving Day? Wouldn't that be amazing? Because he knew that Rome didn't have one, and he said, I would love that. So when the CEO says, why don't we make this happen, I really felt compelled to bring it to the group.
Sure.
And so here we are today.
And it's funny because a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, that's a great excuse on why to stay here at home in Rome and not have to travel.
I've
And
used it.
I know, and I will be using it as well. So I actually kind of looking forward to Thanksgiving Day in a different mindset.
Exactly.
But no, it's going to be a great thing. Like I said, we're really looking forward to this being something that just kind of goes on for many years to come.
Awesome. Man, it's been so much fun to hang out with you guys
Thank you.
today. I'm so excited to hear about what all you've got going on. And we've got a minute or two left. Anything we've not already covered that you want to make sure our listeners know?
Yeah, we wanted to make sure, let everybody know that any and all proceeds from the event will be for the Northwest Georgia Hunger Ministries. Awesome. And so, it would be first we were thinking about people bringing cans and that kind of thing, but we're coming to the realization that if we were to provide, even just donate $100 with their resources, $100 goes much longer, much further than if 100 cans showed up. So, so we're really looking forward to being able to kind of cut them a check to be able to, go to a fantastic need.
I've had Lindsay Kilby on my morning show quite a few times, and she talks about how, she always encourages that. Please don't bring food. Give us money because we get money, or we get food from the Atlanta Community Food Bank through Feeding America.
Yes.
And apparently those dollars go a long way.
Yeah,
so,
she's doing a great job.
Yeah, she is. Props to Lindsay Kilby.
I know, I agree.
And props to you guys. You guys are doing a great job, and I really thank you for what you're doing to make our community a better place to live.
Thanks,
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Julie, any parting thoughts that you want to share?
No, if people want Twilight tickets, again, go to the Tread website, treadromefloyd.com.
And to register for the race, it's rometurkeytrot.com.
Awesome. Yeah. So that means you got to get up early on Thanksgiving.
Not too early. It's not too bad.
We
not early for
as
me.
volunteers, we didn't want an 8 o'clock race. That's too
No.
early. So.
That's okay. I think 9 o'clock is a good time because you get it early enough so that people can go on and enjoy their Thanksgiving festivities.
Yes.
But it's not too early.
No.
And at that time of year, you never know when it's going to be chilly. So you may have a little frost on the ground. Who
This
knows?
is true.
You could have frost on the ground. You could have 70 degrees.
Yeah.
It could be like today.
For real.
hot.
For real. It's been a pleasure. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And again, the guest today representing, we got representing Tread of Rome and Floyd County, the Executive Director, Julie Smith. Also with AdventHealth Redmond, their Marketing Manager, Johnny Clavijo. Please tell me I'm pronouncing
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah,
you're
you
doing
nailed
great.
it. Thank you.
that right. Awesome. And y'all make your plans to be a part of the Rome Turkey Trot. It's coming up on Thanksgiving Day. That wraps it up for this week's edition of the WLAQ Community Spotlight. I'm Elizabeth Davis, and I hope you have a great day.
This has been the WLAQ Community Spotlight. We thank you for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to the WLAQ Radio YouTube channel and follow WLAQ Rome on Facebook.